and apply finance business perspective. So I would start with Dharasa, if you can please.
Sure. So good afternoon and a warm welcome to everybody. Thank you for taking your time off and participating in this webinar. We have a nice, healthy, participation also. So just to give a brief perspective and context to this whole webinar, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you know IIM Indore is amongst the top, 5 management institutes in the country and amongst the fastest growing institutions in India in the top management, domain. And I think a lot of you may not know that it's also amongst the top 1% of MBA schools globally, thanks to the Triple Crown rating, which is a rating from AMBA, AACSB, and EQUIS, which are MBA rating agencies across the world. So IIM Indore is amongst 1 or 2 institutes in India which has the Triple Crown and amongst the 1% of MBA schools globally. Now, coming to this webinar, finance is the lifeblood of business, and for any business to be successful, it is extremely important that finances of the company are managed well. I think, everybody knows that without finance, business can never happen, right? There is also a fallacy that, finance is to be known by finance professionals. I mean, very often we will, this is the job of the finance department, right? But that's a fallacy because any good business person has to know finance also. And if you kind of, look at industry, some of the CEOs in some of the top organizations are actually finance professionals. They are chartered accountants, like Sanjeev Mehta of HUL, Keki Mistry of HDFC, Pranoy Roy of NDTV, Niranjan Hiranandani of Hiranandani Group, and so on and so forth. You also find many large company-owned organizations or family-owned businesses like Adani, Reliance, Birla. They will be largely controlled by top finance professionals who would be leading the business. Likewise, there are non-finance professionals, people who grow from marketing, sales, operations, etc. And they take on senior, roles. They take on profit center roles. They become regional heads. They become P&L heads. And they also need to enhance their financial skills and competencies to manage business in a holistic manner, right? So finance, typically, it is understood from 2 perspectives. One is there is a set of people who focus, a lot on the financial aspect from the financial perspective, like accounting, auditing, taxation, compliance. And the other is the understanding finance from a business perspective, like a management accounting, financial analysis, business intelligence. So in a conventional program, you will find that you're taught finance from a finance perspective. Well, this program goes beyond and above that. The value an institute like IIM Indore delivers is to teach you finance from a business perspective. So let me introduce Professor Debashish Mitra. He is the Dean Planning and Development and Professor of Accounting and Finance. He's a fellow from the Institute of Rural Management, Anand, IIRMA. His research includes the interplay between risk and bank performance during post-financial crisis, commodity markets, development and movements of these markets, regulatory issues, volatility and dynamics of markets, influence of economics or macroeconomics on different asset markets and classes, derivatives, listing, delisting, and its effect on the stock returns, and non-linear relations among factors affecting stock returns and volatility over different investment horizons. After reading all this, on a lighter note, I would, with all this knowledge, I'm sure Professor Debashish would be making a lot of money in the stock market. But on a more serious note, let me hand over the baton, to you, Professor Debashish, for you to share your thoughts and insights about the program. Over to you, Professor Debashish.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Darajji and Tushar also. So friends, actually, this program, in a way that IIM Indore, we actually thought of this program, postgraduate certificate program in finance, a long back. And as you see, the batch number that is now with us is 6. We suggest that there have been already the 5 batches graduated, right, are awarded the degree. Now the question is that, so once we thought that why, because of some of the different concepts, different knowledge which are actually spread here and there, let's just accumulate all of them, assemble them together, and let's deliver a small online based program, which is basically PGCPF. So that is what actually the concept of this program started a long back. I mean, almost, I'm talking about 5-6 years back, right? So when it all started with the very initial steps. It was, the program was not matured that time, but then, after delivering 2 batches, we got also, we went back to the blackboard. We tried to find out where, the participants were happy even in the batch 1 and batch 2, but somehow we realized that some of the things, some of the concepts, some of the delivery, some of the content might be missing, and then we are not able to take it to the next level. So that is when, whenever we talk about this program, we try to revamp this program every year. So it is not necessarily the name of the subject should change, but it is about the content and the way of delivery. So later on, then by the time of the batch 3, 4, and 5, so on and so forth, we decided that why not to include a lot of cases? Why not to include a lot of other different study materials? Why not to keep some of the, the assignments or the projects? It could be the individual project, it could be the group project. So the idea is that because this is a lot online and the virtual program, so basically you will not be able to know your colleagues. You will not be able to know your, the program mate. So by doing this kind of the group project and assignment, it would also give you to know each other. It would also help you to discover each other's expertise, and then accordingly, you can create a team who will work on that project and submit the report. So that is basically the hard aspect of this program. To deliver the content, to get the grades. On the soft aspect is that, of course, the networking skill, as well as, to know each other, and then as a batch, it should evolve over a period of time. And that is where basically our entire idea of this program came up. So now, even when we were basically trying to actually pitch this program for this time, PGCPF batch 6, that time also we had almost a very strong discussion, brainstorming with Darajji and Tushar, that do we need to keep the same sequence of the courses? Do we need to keep the same amount or same number of sessions? Can we split into two different courses? What if I get some participants of, let's say, 7-8 years experience, some participants is of 1 or 2 years experience, then how would I be able to pitch in the subject which might not be so new to someone, or which might be too new to someone, right? So that way this program tries to make this balance, and over a period of time, what we have learned, the entire evolution, the way it has occurred to us, it is basically trying to know basically what the participants on the other side, they are trying to understand. So what basically they work, what kind of the industry they go through. So that is whenever we try to start the program, right after the orientation, we actually go through your batch profile very well. We try to, this batch profile is going to be shared with all the faculty members who are actively involved in this program, so that they can get to know that whether how many percentage of the people or the participants are there from the BFSI sector, how many participants are not from the BFSI but could be from the manufacturing, how many of them have nothing to do with the finance, but a little knowledge of the finance and aspire to join the finance domain later on in the life. So that way, we try to accumulate all of them, and this is how the program has come to this stage. But please understand, when I say that the program has come to this stage, we have been able to modify, we have been able to refine the program, but still the refinement keeps on going. So every year, it is not a learning experience from you all. At the same time, it is also a learning experience for me as well as for my colleagues. When we collect a lot of feedbacks and your opinions, your suggestions, how this program can be improved. So that is the reason this program is basically divided into 2 different components. In one component, we talk about through online delivery. And then in the second component, we talk about the campus model, where basically in the campus model, we try to individually meet and interact with each one of you throughout the sessions, over the sessions, after the sessions, so that this kind of the feedback, this kind of the suggestions can be collected and can be incorporated for the next batches. And that is basically what the mantra we follow in this kind of this program. Yes, I think that is more or less about the the growth trajectory that we have followed over a period of time. And thanks to Darajji and Tushar, because I remember when we started with only few number of participants. When I see that the participant number is crossing 50, even compared to the last batch, so there is almost 30-40% jump, and that shows that somewhere or the other, the participants are basically realizing that the kind of the knowledge sharing happening in the classroom, it makes sense. It matters to them. Yes, Darash.
Sure. Right. Thank you, Professor Devashish. And so I think, now that you heard from, me, and you heard from Professor Devashish also, I would, actually suggest that you hear from some of the participants who have done this program. So Tushar, I think we have Mr. Jimit Shah. I think we can ask him to unmute, yes, and talk also.
Yeah. I mean, Jimit is from the last batch. We had a lot of interaction. Jimit, I still remember. I mean, we had talked during our campus. So that is, I mean, before going over to Jimit, I'll just take 2 minutes more. I'll just try to connect you that, a lot of the times, it's simple questions you may not ask, you may ask, but that is a question that we have also realized, which keeps on bugging you actually in your mind, is that will I really gain out of this program? That is a bigger question. Second question is that how this program is different from any other A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H program, right? So before going into these 2 questions, which are basically vital, I mean, that is an obvious question, and that is a very practical question, because if I want my son and daughter for an admission to college, definitely I'll talk about this program, how this program is going to add value. Now, the question is that when I'm talking about this adding value, basically we, in this entire course, we are trying to touch upon all the different domains of finance. So we'll start with this accounting. We'll talk about the managerial accounting, the costing perspective. We'll also talk about the financial management, where we talk about the valuation and others. Thereafter, we'll also talk about, so this is about from the firm's perspective, the accounting and finance. Thereafter, another bigger module, we'll talk about the market side, where we're going to talk about the portfolio investment management, portfolio management. We'll also talk about the financial modeling in Excel. We'll talk about that, the other soft aspect, like something like that. What if I'm trying to sell a lot of investment products, insurance products? So how this marketing of the financial products, how this is an important for the finance guys, because a lot of time, the kind of the product that you design, thinking that this will be the blockbuster product, may not actually hit the market. So to get those all feedback, so we also need to know that how the marketing of the financial product matters and how it is little different from the other marketing of the regular product. Then of course, we'll also talk about the financial markets, financial institutions, because they are also the part and parcel of the overall financial system. So that is a reason. So entire course is basically talk about that firm level, the corporate level finances structure, and also talk about the market. And towards the end, we basically integrate these 2 domains and we talk about the corporate strategy. That is basically the final delivery, where basically we try to think from we try to see the entire program or the content from an overarching view. Basically, that is where we talk about the corporate strategy. And this is how this, things are delivered. And when you talk about each of the content, each of the courses being delivered, few things we always practice. And I'm going to tell you some of the points. It is not that something I'm going to scare you, but these are the hard facts that we try to stick with, and we don't want to compromise on any, at any cost. So something like that, we are very much sincere about classes. So classes are something like temple to us, right? So, we religiously follow the timing and the classes. And I also expect that the other side, the participants, will also follow it from the religious perspective. Now, why I'm saying so, it is something like that, unless I will not be able to deliver the content unless you are not ready to receive it. Any doctor will not be able to cure a patient if the patient doesn't want to cure himself or herself. So that is what the strategy is. So you have to equally remain involved throughout the sessions. So that is where we talk about. So because most of the time, the online classes, we talk over internet, over data cable. So at least knowing your faces would always help. So that is the first suggestion that we always ask the participants in the class to keep their videos on. And that is typically we follow, because it should not appear to the faculty members that they are talking to the host, they are talking to the walls, right? Basically, So as I'm involved, you're involved is equally important. I understand in some of the cases, you may not be able to unmute your video because you might be traveling, you are not well. These are all said and done. But there are excuses which can always a participant can give, but it is your learning by the time. It is your learning, and if you are not going to realize that it is my learning, nobody would be able to deliver the content to the wish, that we have kept for that program. This is the first thing. Second thing is that when you talk about this program, we also talk about the attendance for us is very important in a way that it is something not like that any kind of a YouTube class you are doing. You just logged in, you forget about the class, and at the end, you think that this program will achieve the objective, what you started enrolling in this program. That is not the purpose. So you have to remain. As I am making my attendance 100% to the class, you are also expected to make your attendance 100% to the class. 100% is not mandatory, but it is expected. That is the reason whenever we start this program, before any course starts, we always share the course outline, the course materials well in advance. Well in advance, so that each of the participants can go through the course outline before the session number wise it starts. You can have certain questions after going through the materials, and that can be discussed in the class. Why I'm saying so? The reason is that it is a kind of an executive class. So it is not going to be a kind of a monologue that I'm only here to say something. This entire session will be based on questions, a lot of questions. Of course, few things will be given. Based on that, a lot of questions will be asked, a lot of questions to be answered. And that is how the learning would take place. And that makes this program very different from others, because we believe in the participant-centric learning. So if the participant-centric learning will only happen if the participants are ready. If they are not ready, if you are happy to pay the fees and just to take the certificate, there is no harm in it. But you are going to lose a lifetime opportunity, right? That to learn, from the people who actually practice. And that is when we talk about a lot of cases, a lot of Harvard cases, a lot of Stanford cases will also give in to you. And those cases are not only for this program, but believe me, some of the courses, those are some of the cases are followed across a lot of business schools. Even some of the cases are following, highly accredited business schools. So those cases, those live projects and assignment is what make this program, will enrich this program from the learning aspect. And that is what, we always, believe me, trust me, whenever I talk to Darajji, we remain very tough about this problem. Sometimes they say that, can we really think of this participant? We say that, no, unless he or she is not ready about this program, we should not know. We should not get into that. If I'm going to start with only 10 participants, we're happy to do that. But those 10 participants will be with this program throughout this journey. Right? That kind of the active participation we want. That's it. And that's the whole thing I just want from you. Right? So otherwise, rest of the things will take on its own. Right? Yeah, over to you, Darajji. I hope I haven't taken much time.
No, I think time is all yours. Thank you.
Sometimes I'm swayed away when I talk about this PGCPF and other programs. But these are the programs which actually we created and we designed. So we know in and out of this, program. They are very close to our, emotions and heart. So neither, we allow ourselves to disturb the program, nor the participants will be allowed. Right. So that is kind of richness that we follow.
No, good. So the passion was very visible. So I think, with that, what Professor said, and I think, we have some alumni and we'll ask, Mr. Jimit Shah to speak about it. And before I introduce him, I just have to say one thing which Professor said, that, we have seen this, as program partners, that people who have done this program and put in the right amount of, interest, put in the right amount of effort and done it with the right intention, they find it very transformational, right? So without much ado, let me, ask Jimit to kind of unmute. Mr. Jimit Shah, he was in audit and assurance with Choksey and Choksey, chartered accountants with 23 years of experience and more. And I think just 2 years back, while he was also doing this program, he founded his own company. And today he's a, you could say a financial, entrepreneur, and he's founded ORN or On Finance Advisors. So over to you, Jimit, to share your experiences of this program. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes, loud and clear.
Achha. Extremely sorry, I'm not able to switch on my video currently because I am at the client's place. Mehtaji, I just want to add a few more things. I was with Chuxi & Chuxi for hardly 2 years, but around 23 years with Kotak. I was risk head with the Kotak, and prior to COVID, I started my entrepreneurship as a financial advisor to the banks and financial institutions. Now, taking this, we were, in fact, I consider our batch to be one of the most luckiest batch, because during the COVID time, things were settled down, nothing was moving, people were sitting at the home. I think so all 20 to 25 people who has joined that point of time, that particular batch, we guys are lucky because we have utilized the time in the right manner. We did a value addition to our profiles. We learned very good things. And the most exciting part was we were learning on the weekends and directly implementing on the weekdays. So the excitement we had learning this course was immense, right? So I also have Sanchit and Shreya also there on the has been invited for this particular this. I would also like to add tell Sanchit or Shreya to add something if they want to add it.
Yes. So we have Sanchit, who's a finance manager with more than 5 years of experience, and we have Shreya. Shreya is a very I think she will share. Let me not share the what was her claim to fame. But Shreya is also a chartered accountant and has more than 3 years of experience. So over to you, Sanchit and Shreya. You can share your experiences.
Yeah, hi. So good evening, everyone. Good evening, Debashish sir, Dharaj sir.
Hello to you.
How are you?
Yeah, all are doing good, Sanchit.
So my experience with.
So happy to see back your, happy to see your smile back.
Yeah, same here, sir. It brings back a lot of memories in the week's classes that we had. Although we expected if we could have a more wider interaction with you guys.
Then Sanchit, join our PhD program.
Sure, if Jimit will, I'll also come with him. So I found my partner in crime when it comes to IIM. Yeah. So everyone can see me, right? I think.
Yeah, I think your left side is basically not visible. Left side, right?
Not. Better now?
Yeah, better. Perfect.
Great. So yeah, so my experience with the whole 1.5 years, because our batch also got delayed due to the second wave. My experience has been great with my colleague, with my the participants as well as the teachers. There were many concepts which were at nascent stage during my studies as a chartered accountant, which were introduced again, and a few concepts that were taught as a great learning to me when it comes to our investment modeling by Debashish sir, or looking at the liquidity ratios all from a different angle, and identifying the industries basis the ratios and commentary. So that was a whole different approach to see financial statements and the financial news in the current scenario. So through this course, I have got in touch with great mentors as well as great participants. I haven't had much opportunity to interact with them because my role was changed post this course. I was into a controllership kind of a profile, and now shifted to an FP&A based profile, and into strategy as well. So this course has been a blessing to me, and yeah, that will be all. I'll be happy to take any questions after the session. Shreya, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, Shreya.
Hello everyone, I'm Shreya. I'll just turn on my video once so that everyone can see me, but I'm driving. So
Okay.
just for a second. Hello everyone, I'm Shreya. I'm a fresher CA and this course has been very lucky for me. I got my CA results when I was on the campus visit, so I was extremely lucky, and this course is the best course. Please join this and you'll be for sure you'll see your benefits. If you have a little bit touch with finance, in your job profile, it'll add to your core competency and it'll help you in many, many ways. And just one thing, please turn on your videos and listen to the class, because that will help the teachers as well. They teach the screen and blank classroom. So please turn on the videos. We did not, when we visited the campus, we felt that we should have done that and it would have benefited us very much more. So you guys should do that, and it's an amazing course, amazing course.
And one of the best campus we have.
Yes.
Yes, amazing.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Shreya. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank
decision making is really faster after doing this course. The professional way, we are very much benefited, right? And
I'll agree to that, Jimit. I'll agree to that completely.
And really excited. Like definitely, me and Sanjay looking for our next course ASAP, but just waiting to settle down things faster. Thanks
Please
everyone.
count
Thank you.
me in as well.
Oh, take care. Take care.
Sir, so Dry sir, you see that that camaraderie we have, you know, the friendship we have had in those 7 days.
Very
So
good,
I
very
request
nice.
every prospective participant, so you know, to interact as much as you can within the group as well as with the teachers, and you will have a more of an abridged college life altogether.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. So I think just while you all are there, we'll also take a few questions. Let the participants now kind of ask questions.
We would request everyone to raise their hand before asking a question.
Yeah, please do that.
We'll unmute and ask her.
Yeah.
So we have Mr. Pankaj who's there. Can you unmute, Mr. Pankaj? So, Pankaj, you can ask.
Hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
So I have two questions. First, I'm a qualified cost accountant and working in industry for last 11 years. So I am confused between the general management program and this finance management program. Which one I should opt for? And the second question would be like, I believe the class is having 3 hours in a week. So how best effective it is going to be, because I think personally that 3 hours are very less. Hope I am clear.
Yeah, Pankaj. The Pankaj, the reason is that why we are having the 3 sessions on Sunday, because if you are going to have a 6 sessions on a Sunday, so almost out of 10 sessions, 50% of the course will be over by one Sunday. And believe me, the finance-like subject, if you're having 50% of the course on a single day, you will leave the classroom blank. You will not understand anything, right? So when we talk about this specialized kind of the courses, it is always suggested to go slow and steady, right? So because ultimately it is something that learning is important. So if I talk about a lot of concepts, a lot of Excel modeling, believe me, I'm pretty sure, Pankaj, now you're saying the 3 sessions. So let me start the course. After at least a course, you will say that can we cut down the 3 session to 2, right? Because that is the response most of the time we receive a lot of participants. Given that the strength, given that the content, given that the depth of the subject that you are going to talk about, 3 sessions going to be is going to be very much optimum that way. If you increase the number of sessions, I mean, we don't have any objection to increase the number of sessions. It will give us further flexibility to finish the course ASAP, right, very soon. So that is of course the flexibility, and also faculty members also want to do that. They don't want to start and end this course in 10 sessions course for the over 5 weekends. They would like to finish it with over 3 weekends. But from the participant's point of view, that is not what it is suggested, because you will not be able to grasp the concept. You will not be, because the kind of let's say if we have 4 or 5 sessions, 2-3 cases we are discussing, you will not be able to understand anything about the 3 cases if you go for more number of sessions. That is basically the objective of it.
Yeah, I think one more thing that I'd like to add, that you must understand, in executive education, you cannot come cold to the class. There will be reading material that will be given, mandatory reading material, voluntary reading material, case study material. You have to prepare and come. You have to put in at least 1 hour a day of reading, or 5 to 6 hours over the weekend, and come to the class. Then you will enjoy the class. I mean, if you come cold to the class, you will not enjoy the class. You will not be able to.
Because some of the faculty members go for a lot of cold calls. So if I see Pankaj is there in the class, I'll say, the Pankaj, can you tell me that why this organization is facing this financial turmoil? If you haven't gone through this case, You will see that you will say that I haven't gone through this case, and that is a standard answer that you will get. But will it serve your purpose? Right? You will. I mean, whenever we are going to talk about a lot of numbers from the case, you will keep on searching where the numbers are. So at least going through that case and the reading material will give you the familiarity with what is the topic, what is the objective, what is the problem we are discussing in the class. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Next, Tushar.
Yeah.
So what's the next?
Vidyanand Vas.
Yeah.
Was. Ravind, please unmute him. Yeah.
Hi. Am I audible?
Yes.
Question is, I have around 18 years of experience, and I have already done an MBA. Currently, I am running foundation as a not for profit. Okay, but eventually, maybe after 3 or 5 years down the line, if I want to come to corporate life, if at all, that's not yet planned. But with controllership or a CFO or some kind of finance leadership, if I'm looking at, will this program will serve? Because I don't have any finance background.
This program will give you the clarity about the concepts and learning from the applications from point of view. Now, I cannot simply say that if I really attend this program, can I be the CFO of Hindustan Unilever? No, not at all. This program has nothing to do with that being a CFO or anything else. It will give you that edge. It will give you that knowledge of the concept. It will give you to participate in that process with a lot more clarity. And that's what we do. So now it's up to you. So simply attending it, let's say, I'll just give you some question. If I attend 1 month crash course for swimming, will I be the great swimmer? No, not at all. It will give me the confidence. It will help me to remove the fear from water. And it will say that what are the do's and don'ts are important in this kind of the finance domain, and which will basically pave the way for your next future planning, career planning, and whatsoever role you're going to do. It has nothing to do with only CFO. It is also to do with somebody wants to join in the project finance, wants to join in the banking, wants to join in any other finance domain. That is basically the generalized finance course that we're talking about with them. Right? Who is next?
Tushar, let's do it quickly so that we can. Yeah. You can unmute people who want to ask questions. They can ask.
Yes, sure.
Have you done that? Sham, please, you can speak.
Yeah, I have a very simple, quick question. Good afternoon, everyone. So first question is, would this program add value to my CV and capabilities? Second is, would it allow me to access in senior leadership? And third, would it also allow me for an overseas opportunity? I have 13 plus years of experience, and I'm a chartered accountant, company secretary, and also did SFI ISO course. Yeah.
So this particular course will give you to see the finance from different other aspects, not from being a chartered accountant. What we generally try to see, you always bound by the numbers of accounting. But in meanwhile, we try to, so there is a clear and big distinction between accounts and finance. So that is what basically we talk about in this course. So it is not about the only accounting numbers or accounting clarity or accounting matching important, but why we are doing so. So what is basically the bigger objective? What is basically the investment function? What is that investment function will lead the organization to? So these are basically the questions, these are basically the concepts will be given to you. Now, how you are going to utilize these concepts for your better career planning, it will be up to you. So that is basically the question, because the reason is that will I get an overseas opportunity? I may get, I may not get. It may not totally directly related to the course. It has a lot of X and other Y factors. The course, of course, will give you a little more edge, but whether finally we'll get it or not, that of course we will not be able to comment on that. Now the question is that why? Question is that because this course will help you to think using the other lenses which you might have missed so far. It will ask you to see the same problems from a different ways. It will tell you that look at the IPO pricing of a particular company when it wants to issue shares from a different angles. So these are the few things it will give you. So it will basically trying to broaden the horizon. Now, So the same question, of course, we generally also answer our regular PGP. This is a course of interest for you. As of your interest, you are trying to get your all concepts clarified through discussion. Now, whether the discussion will give you a kind of an edge in your career or not, that is up to you. I will not be able to comment to you, because I may not ask my teacher that if I really, if I score with the high grades, will I get a high paying job? These two things are not very much correlated. Could be because why? The reason is simple, because a grade is one-time phenomenon. It doesn't reflect the overall understanding. So it could be possible by attending the course, you may not get immediate opportunities, but later on, this thought process will help you to achieve those, even in the existing situations. Right? That is basically the plan.
I think quickly, Jimit, if you want to kind of, you could relate to this question and answer it from an, alum perspective.
So definitely, so in my profession, when I was being the founder of a financial advisor to the banks and financial institutions, right? Most of the things we were doing in a very traditional way, right? So after doing this course and understanding the concepts really well, right, and understanding the reason why this concept came into the picture and what should be the objective, what happens in most of the in the professional life when you are working and when you are doing more of a learning on office in the office from your seniors, sometimes you don't get a real concept coming out clearly from those guys, and we keep on doing in the same manner for around 2 to 3 years, and then we feel that this is the right way to get it done. But when we learn the concept right from the professors who are writing the books with respect to those concepts and with respect to those subjects, and it becomes a different story altogether. Right. For example, from my side, I am into a due diligence. I have to make a financial report to the banks and financial institution, help the financial institution take a decision whether they should lend it or not, get a solution in the stress asset. So all this required a good amount of statistical analysis. Right. Sometimes the data what they provide is not very clear, or something which you cannot take it out from there. But the concept, what we are taught in this course, maybe understanding the financial statements, or carrying out the data analytics through a statistical manner. So all this keeps you ahead from other people who are in your office, right? I have seen in my group, the people have got the promotion after doing this course. People were able to take a decision to move to the better profile. Many people have changed their profile altogether, and people are really excited. So it all depends how you are taking that course, how much time you are devoting to that course, and what best you are able to take out from the course.
Thank you. We can go to the next question.
Arushi.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Arushi Bhandari. I'm a freshly qualified chartered accountant. I work with KPMG in the financial due diligence wing. My question to the panel is, as a freshly qualified chartered accountant, I wish to pursue MBA in the future. So with taking into consideration that I do not have many years of work experience since I recently qualified, is the course relevant for me, and whether I should pursue this course keeping in mind that I wish to pursue MBA? Thank you.
No, Arushi. This is not a proxy course for MBA. Let us be very clear about it. This is a kind of a one-year program which is very much focused into the finance. So it cannot be proxied as a full-time MBA course, not at all. If you are interested to go for full-time 2 years MBA, and you will understand, when you are going for a full-time MBA, you are going to spend 2 years, and in this case, hardly 10, 11 months. How this can replace the whole time MBA? So if you think that you are basically meant for MBA, go for an MBA. Right? This will not be used as a proxy, Arushi. This will give you some of the existing knowledge that I have been talking about so far. A lot of other different domains of the finance, but it may not fully replace. It is not a substitute, basically. It is not a substitute course for your MBA.
Okay, and what about the work experience bit? Since other participants, I believe, have a lot more work experience than I do.
Work experience in terms of what?
Post-qualification. So this is my first job right now. So I have less than 1 year of work experience.
So I think how much of the work ex we have decided?
Yeah, Professor, actually for chartered accountants, they can come in because they have,
Right.
They have the articles experience
Correct.
also, so they don't need that 2 years. They can come in. I think I guess Shreya Dhawan would be able to answer. You should be able to relate to you. Shreya, can you answer? You would be able to relate to this question if you are listening. Is Shreya there?
Hi, I had some connectivity issues.
Yeah. So there was this question from Arushi. She's just a chartered accountant and working, and she was trying to kind of figure out whether, as a young chartered accountant, would she be able to relate? I think even in your batch, you had people with 20 plus years of experience. So how would you relate an experience between like a young fresher versus a 20 years experience?
No, I would say like I'm a young CA, so I have read these concepts, but like I got a deeper knowledge here in this course, and from 20 years further, if I talk about that now, so they brush up all the concepts and bring you to the real-time world. They update you with everything, so it's better if you do it now because it will definitely add value. But comparatively, it will add value more when you do it 2 years henceforth. But currently, if you do this, it will definitely add value to your profile. And after all, it's IIM. It will add value anywhere you go.
Sir, I'll add to what Shreya is saying. So, our batch had varied experienced professionals. We had a person who had 20 years of experience with Honda. We had a person who had a good 20, 30 years of experience with Tata Motors. So, with a good mix in the batch, you get to learn from each other's experiences a lot. So, there were instances where they could quote in some extra knowledge about some industry specific knowledge, and when we were in classrooms, it didn't matter actually what experience the other guy had. We were all interacting. It all depends on how much indulging you are in the course. The more you interact with your classmates, with your teachers, I think that's the best value addition you can have.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. I think next is Prashant. Na? Yeah, Prashant.
Next.
Prashant, unmute, please.
Yes, Prashant. Unmute, Prashant.
Prashant, go ahead.
So hi everyone. My name is Prashant Mishra. Who are eligible for this? Only working professions, or I have a work experience of around 5+ years. I can be eligible for this.
Yes, yes. This program is open for everybody with more than 2 years of experience, and if they are financial professionals like chartered accountants, company secretaries, ICWA, who have already spent time, in their articles and in their respective, professional pursuit and certification while getting the certification, they are also eligible, even if they don't have 2 years of work experience. So for non-finance professionals or people who don't have a chartered accountancy, ICWA, IC or CACS, you need 2 years plus experience. Other than that, people who are already qualified, they can, even if they don't have 2 years experience, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I think next is Charan.
Mr. Charan.
Charan, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah, actually, we are just seeing this program, but we actually don't have any idea what is the program contents and
Okay.
what is the duration and how much
Yeah.
period campus will be required and how much will be the online, what will be the per
Yeah.
day, how many hours. Okay, all these
Right.
details, if we will have in detail, we
Right.
may be able to assess ourselves whether program is suitable to us or not.
Sure.
Number one. Number two, let me introduce myself. I am a CA and CS and qualified in 1995. So I have more than 23 years of experience, and 20 years I was in various industries, and since last 3 years I am practicing now. So my one question is whether practicing chartered accountant can be benefited from this course, or only industry oriented people.
So just Professor, I'll just address the basic question.
Yeah.
So see, basically, I mean, you will get a brochure, you'll get an email, you'll get all the details over the mail, you know, so you'll have all the information. Once you complete, you'll also get a call, right? For now, let me share one quick reference sheet for everybody, right? I mean, if you're able to see it, yeah. So this program is eligibility we have spoken about. It is delivered through online mode, direct to desktop. The timing is Sunday from 2:30 to 6:45. There'll be 3 sessions of 75 minutes with breaks of 15 minutes. The campus is 5 days at the IIM Indore lovely campus, you know, contemplative learning in the campus, 5 days, subject to government guidelines around the pandemic. Okay, the session starts on May 15th. So, you know, the application ends on May 13th. So this is the last weekend for you to go in and apply. On successful completion, you know, after assessments and attendance, etc., you get a certification from IIM Indore, and you will also become, you'll get executive education alumni status, right? The program fee is 3,20,000 plus GST payable in 5 installments, right? So you will get a complete details in terms of the brochure, module, etc. You will get. And over to you. I think, you know, I mean, we also have alums who are chartered accountants, practicing chartered accountants. They will be able to share light. Professor Devashish, if you want to kind of, you know, share.
Yes, Charan. Actually, the thing is that, you know, if you're practicing with this, you know, this much of experience, so the thing is that few of the things that you may talk about the initial of the program, which may overlap of, you know, your existing knowledge, and that's a typical experience that you have seen. But over the period of time, of course, some of the aspects, some of the perspectives you are going to talk about, that may be very different from what you have learned so far, what you have seen so far. But yes, given that, you know, you have already done CAA, so some of the accounting courses that you are going to talk about, of course, it will have
not CAA. I am chartered accountant and company secretary.
Jhunjhunwala, sir, Professor mentioned the same thing for the CA. Nothing else.
I thought he is talking about CAA.
No. Talking about CA.
I'm talking about CA.
Yeah.
If you have done the CA, so a lot of these accounting courses will have this, you know, that is where we find that a lot of CA or the practicing CAs about, sir, you know, why we are actually in this program. So that is what we our experience, and that is what I thought that to give you upfront.
Actually, the thing is that there are so many practicing area in CA. So if somebody is practicing in finance, then it will be more benefit, I think. It will be more beneficial to them.
I can't comment on that, Charanji.
And who are more in audit
or not, I mean, I might not be able to judge fully. I mean, that is, of course, I can talk about this is what now, whether this delivery will help you or not, that is you have to take this decision.
So we'll share the complete details with you. Yeah, and you'll get all the details. You take a call after you go through the details. Okay. Yeah, we can go on to the next question.
So I don't think so. There's any questions. I have Aman question. Aman, you there?
Yeah. Yeah, you can ask questions, or then you can ask from the chat then, Tushar.
So I've been answering on the tab, so not a problem.
Okay, you're answering on the chat also. So
there's a chat on.
Experience related questions anyway, Tusharji and sir, you would be able to.
Yeah, that's what. So, you know, the specific questions we can answer you even post this session, you know, where we can have a one-on-one counseling session also. I mean, if you have any questions for the alum and for the professor, let us know.
Am I audible?
Yeah,
yeah, perfect. So I have completed my CFA, like I have given all the papers. I've worked 1 year for KPMG and 2 years in a startup with wealth management firm. After which I have joined my own business, like family business. So I just wanted to ask, like, how can this course add to my previously done things and my going forward?
Have you done the US CFA, Aman?
Aman?
Yeah.
Have you done the Indian CFA?
Yes.
Yeah, US CFA, right? US CFA. Okay. So actually, CFA about finance, they don't talk about the finance and business. So this course also talks about the finance and business. So most of the time, what we have
Okay.
or experience, a lot of finance guys they talk about the finance, but they didn't talk about the business. So if you don't have the business,
Okay.
the finances may not make or gel well with you. So that is where this course basically creates this balance between this, how this information of finance would be more applicable, more feasible if you have this sort of business knowledge.
Okay.
So this particular interface, that is where basically we also emphasize.
So do we have like help in any placement side as well after this course?
We talk about lot of concepts through cases, most of the time cases.
No, placement.
No placements. No placements.
Yeah. So I'll address that.
Placement will not be given. No.
Since this is a working executive program, I mean, everybody is already working, so there are no placements for working executive programs. But having said that, I think we've heard the alums also. I think once you do this program, definitely there is a value badge. And like Professor said, it's the value that is added into you, which kind of open doors and gets you through ahead in your career, personal as well as professional life.
Right.
I think Sandeep has a nice question. Sandeep, you want to ask the question because you're very similar to what background from Jimit. So, would you ask a question?
Sandeep,
or I will ask. So Sandeep is saying, I'm a corporate advisor and advising my client in structuring financial statements, matching best industry ratio as to have bankable applicants. How your course will help to put in place, this kind of a thing. So I think maybe Jimit, if you would want to kind of, you're also, I think, something similar.
Yeah, Mr. Mehta.
In this course that,
sure.
Please, Jimit. Yes.
So basically, the biggest challenge when we are advising to the clients or a bank or a financial institution or any advisory to be provided to any corporate, the quantum of data which we normally have on the basis of which we need to make certain decisions is a huge. So it requires a systematic approach towards that data analysis and everything. So what I have specifically benefited out of this course is to break down the entire data into a smaller pieces, try to ascertain the problems, get a solution for each of the problem, and try to look for a bigger solution. So this course helps to clear the concepts. So once the concepts are clear, you are able to identify the problem, break it into the smaller pieces, and thereafter work out various options where you can get a solution for it. And once you provide the entire bouquet of solution with all the parameters being in place as a solution A, solution B, solution C, right? The corporates or any banking or financial institution who is taking an advisory from you, it becomes a different story for them. You are always placed ahead from other advisors. So this course definitely helps. Again, it coming back to the concepts and how well you want to understand, how much you are putting an effort into this course is all that plays an important role. Good part is you are learning on weekends, you are implementing on weekdays. So that fast learning, I don't think so one can get an experience. Thank you. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, Professor.
I think so.
I think we have taken most of the questions. Anyway, I'll be off to you if some of the other academic related questions will be.
Yeah. Any academic related questions for Professor Debashish? Because he also has to go ahead. He will have a lecture now. So any specific questions related to Professor Debashish? Academic related questions for Professor Debashish?
I don't think there are questions.
Okay. Professor, you want to...
and Tushar ji, let me take your permission to leave.
Sir,
and then of course.
There's a question from Mr. Arun Gupta, sir. I just wanted to ask that. He is into SAP and ERP. Want to switch to functional role. How percent of this course covers on corporate and management accounting?
We talk about both the management accounting as well as financial reporting. This course has both the domains. Corporate accounting as well as management accounting. We have 10 sessions at least. We have for both these concepts.
Arun, I hope you got your answer. Yeah, I think
so. Any other questions for Professor or we can, he
So
has
we'll
a
take it
session
forward.
also.
We will be sharing all the details to them now, and if there is some questions, we'll be giving them a call and everything.
No, so what we'll do is we'll allow Professor to go, then we'll wait for some time if people have some more questions. So, Professor, you want to kind of conclude? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you. So all the best to our prospective, the wishful participants.
Right. So,
thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So we still have, I think, our alums there. If you have any questions for the alums, most welcome. Yeah.
We have alums also, and the people who have been who are joining the program, they're also there. I would the kind of seniority of the program, I want to explain that we have a very mixed batch that way. We have 2 to 7 years of people, experienced people, and we have people from 30 years and 25 years of experience. If I see today's scenario, we have around 24 people who has 24 years and above experience. 22 people of 20 years and above experience. Aman has a question again. Please unmute, Aman.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Sir, course completion certificate is also given to the participants?
Yes, 100%.
Aman, the course completion certificate along with transcript will be given to you.
Okay.
Let me do one thing. I'll share this so that I think for the benefit of all, let me share that you can get detailed program. Right. So this is IIM Indore. Like I said, this is the Triple Crown accreditation that is there available. Right. We've shared the eligibility criteria. Right. I think the program details have been shared with you. Right. And right. So this is the IIM Indore building. This is the main building of modules. I think just a quick one. Financial reporting, statement analysis, from a business perspective, quantitative techniques of finance, spreadsheet modeling, which I think Professor Debashish was talking about. Managerial accounting, mind you, we are not talking of financial accounting, but managerial accounting. 4 financial management subjects, 1 and 2. Economics from a managerial perspective, understanding financial markets, institutions, instruments, investment banking and analysis, what he spoke about. Marketing of financial products, strategy, what he said, eventually overarching, finance and, financial, investment, and then kind of, how do you make it as part of corporate strategy. Sessions Sunday, 2:30 to 6:45, right? And online, correct? And campus immersion of 5 days, which will be there at IIM Indore campus. Criteria for attendance is minimum 75%. I think I will increase the percent, to give you an idea about the, image of the, this is a certificate that is there, right? You should be signed by the chairperson and the director of IIM Indore, right? So this is the certification that will be there. And we already spoke about Professor, okay? Alumni status, what are the benefits of alumni status? Communication, brochures, newsletters, access to the campus library when you're on the site, and you'll get an email ID, lifetime email ID of IIM Indore also, right? The fee breakdown is the 3,20,000 is broken into, once you apply, you get your application. Hopefully whoever is interested has to do it quickly over the weekend, because the batches will be shut after that. Except on you get, once your application comes through with your education, qualification, work experience, resume and statement of purpose, it goes to IIM Indore for acceptance. Once they find it is up to the mark, you will get your selection letter, on which you have to pay 10,000 rupees as an offer letter acceptance, and then you pay the 62,000, I think, in the next few days. And after that, you will have 62,000 in the next 4 installments subsequently, which makes it 3,20,000 plus GST, right? So I think this is the number that you could kind of get in touch. I would request, why don't you put it on the chat also? So if anybody has, any particular information they want one-on-one counseling, you can reach us on this number 729 729-0059177. I will repeat 729-0059177. You can call us anytime from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We'll be there to help you with the counseling, support for the same. Right.
Yes, Arun, this is on weekend, and yes, Arun, this is on weekend. So every class will be happening on Sunday.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Thanks, sir. Not a problem.
We'll be sending you an email, SMS also with this link of the webinar, as well as you'll get a brochure and followed after the webinar. So you'll get all the information that you need to kind of make up your mind.
Yeah.
Any other questions, anybody?
I don't think so, sir.
I think we'd also like to thank our alums, especially Jimit, not well, still he's been there. Shreya, I mean, thank you so much, even while you were driving. And Sanchit, also thank you for connecting from your office and giving us such a lovely perspective of your experiences. If any last words, any concluding remarks, if you'd want to give, you're also most welcome.
You guys, it is the best course to be in. You will make more of the professional friends. Your network will grow up, and you will get a database for the information from all the library, from the best of the library we have at IIM. Right? Things will be much simpler. Professional life, you can excel fast, and it will be fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimit. It was really pleasure.
Really nice of all of you to be here.
The whole concept was clear that way. What is the objective and what you'll be doing and what should be your actions to be for the program should be. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Dray, sir. I think we can call it a day for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shreya.
Thank you, Shreya.
Thanks, Mehtaji. Thanks, Tushar.
Thank you, Jimit. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll end the meeting then.
Yes, please. Right.
Thank you, guys.
अगला लगा दे